that we lose interest. We will not relent. The trouble is that we have to then look after other cases. Look what Prajwal Revanna is doing to the system. He's sitting abroad. And almost a month later, he's trying victim. He says, I am under depression. So we're talking about the systemic rot. Prajwal is another example, the Prajwal case. And Suhel said, the pizza burger admission aside, look at what the government doctors have done. The blood sample is collected and then thrown in the dustbin. This happens in serials and movies.
So this is what Sanjay was referring to. I think the level of criminality at its highest point is actually with the doctors, because that would have been the basis of evidence. What would have it established? It would have established driving under the influence of alcohol. That would have been the very edifice of any evidential inquiry against that boy or case against that boy. If you have destroyed that, it is very easy for criminal lawyers to then argue that it is debatable what the original sample could have been. Because I can say that, no, if you have thrown away the sample, hang the doctor, which they have done. The doctor has been suspended. What happens, Pranesh, in all of this is the boy and his family will get away for three reasons. Number one, the evidence which would have been used to actually put them in the dock does not exist. Destroyed, not destroyed, the bottom line is it doesn't exist. Number two, the cops in your sting have admitted that they have fed the boy pizza or burgers. The lawyer can then argue, the criminal lawyer can then argue that, look, if this has happened, it is not my client's fault. The police has been lax in creating and following a standard operating procedure. The third is they will then say that why did the boy, or why was the charge sheet not filed up until 8 hours after the crime was committed or the accident happened? Mark my words, Pranesh, as soon as the media attention is diverted from this case, these guys will come to a deal, the boy will be out, and he'll be a danger again. This thing that, he won't get a driving license till 25 is laughable. It is stupid. It's as laughable as one of his lawyers who on your channel said that, no, my client has done nothing wrong. It was the driver who was driving.
Right.
In a country where you can mock the poor and actually buy their silence in exchange for prison term should tell you something about how badly our system has gone wrong.
Mr. Memon, now that, it is established beyond doubt that there was compromise, complicity, perhaps collusion, at many levels we don't know, what can the state do to secure justice?
Well, Pranesh, firstly, thank you for having me at Times Now today here, and I'm deeply honored to be sharing the dais with Suhel Seth and Sanjay Hegde here. I completely agree with both the panelists, more so particularly with Mr. Suhel Seth, as to all the points that he is making in view of the legal system that prevails today. But having heard Suhel Seth, I am of the view that we should not lose hope in the dispensation system of justice, because it is invariably, we have seen in our experience for last 25 years, I have been conducting trials, and I have seen in courts that it is not merely the direct evidence that the court requires to convict an accused. The court can always draw adverse inference. The court can always rely on circumstantial evidence. More so in this particular case, the evidence that has been forthcoming through you media channels like Times Now and all other channels that are exposing day after day one or the other thing. In this case, I am sure the court will take notice of all these facts and come to a just conclusion. We should not lose hope in our judiciary. I
understand that sentiment, but look, it's very easy for all of us to sit here and say that let's not lose hope. The fact is that people are losing lives. What would you tell the parents of Anish and Ashwini? Can you tell them that don't lose hope?
And remember, Pranesh, Ashwani's father was told by the Pune police to get out of Pune with the dead body ASAP, which Ashwani's father has admitted on multifarious platforms. So the father was told by the police to get out of Pune, not because they were concerned about the funeral happening on time, but they wanted no media attention, because if the body was there, there'd be media attention. This is how gory the whole behavior and despicable the behavior of the Pune police has been. the Pune police at one time was a great force. Is it because of leadership of the present commissioner or, the systemic errors? I don't know what's happened, but something majorly has gone wrong.
Who will fix the system? When will the system be fixed? All big questions. We will pursue to... No, yes, Mr. Memon, go ahead. Make your point.
Yes, Pranesh, I agree with Suhel that the system needs to be sensitized. The police department needs to be sensitized. But having said so, is this the only case that the police has behaved in this particular manner? In my experience, I would say that in every case, invariably, this is how the system functions. That need to be corrected.
That's precisely the point. It is all the more worrying.
This is a case of eye-opening
exactly
for all of us.
We've been waiting for system or a systemic reform. We are all part of the system. And Sanjay Hegde was speaking of experience, personal experience.
Yes.
How policemen behave. He wasn't offered a pizza and burger when he said, look, I met with an accident. Mr. Hegde, 30 seconds.
Yes, absolutely.
Indeed.
The policeman just did not want anything down in writing so that he didn't have to process it further. He looked that I could get into another vehicle and reach a doctor. He said, do you really want me to register? That's all that he did. Now, the other thing is the policemen are all about power. They are not about service. If there is an obvious victim, to help out the victim first and not to protect the perpetrator, that is the systemic change that is really required.
Let's see when the police commissioner of Pune, Mr. Amitesh Kumar, comes out, holds another briefing and takes these questions. Gentlemen, I thank all of you for joining us on Times Now. We're taking a short break.